So, what does sports have to do with economic development, and how does that impact you? You don't even play golf, never heard of it, don't like it, don't even know what 18 holes of golf is, but guess what? It is impacting your life because there's been a major merger between Saudi Arabia's golf and American golf. I'm going to tell you all about how that impacts you, and you don't even know how to swing a golf club. I'm Shelia Smoot. The Shelia Smoot Show starts right now. Now, let me go back into your spending. Definitely make sure that you don't overspend today, all right? Make sure you budget. I'm always talking about it, I know. But if you go out of this house today or out of your home today or wherever you're living or anywhere and you take somebody with you, that's a whole nother segment. I shop alone. Now, every now and then I'll go with friends, but we separate. And we separate. And we separate for a reason. Because, first of all, I can't shop with somebody. I'm just going to be honest. Am I a loner? I have a lot of friends. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, all of the other platforms. But I have a lot of people who know me and I don't know them as well. But my real good friends, still, I meet them places, right? Like, I don't leave the house and travel with a group of people. I don't know what that is. And I definitely don't travel with a group of kids because they really going to spend your money. You know, you got a budget for them too. So get this. If you're traveling with a group of kids today, make one stop for food. No, you can't go to Taco Bell, and no, you can't go to Chick-fil-A, and no, you can't go to Freddy's, and no, Burger King or McDonald's. Everybody in the car today will eat the same thing, preferably pizza. You know, preferably pizza. Now, if you want to go to Chick-fil-A, you are going to spend a whole lot. I used to coach dance teams forever. I have award-winning dance teams in Michigan and in Alabama. I used to think that was my life. Was on the Michigan State dance team. I'm on the alumni Michigan State University dance team. Every homecoming when I'm there, I'm on the field. Yeah, I am. I'll have to give you those pictures, John. They are real. But when I coach dance teams, I want this, I want that, I want this. No wonder you liked me to coach your dance team. You loved me as a coach on a Saturday morning because I took your kids to competition. Now I know why. Because you didn't want to deal with them. Don't blame you. But guess what we're going to eat? We're all going to eat. Rocket's laughing because he's a volunteer coach too. A basketball of all places. A basketball. And but when we take your kids to eat, everybody, we're eating the same thing at one place. I will let you have a say in that, but it's going to be one place. So you all talk amongst yourselves and come up with a place, and the school bus is going to stop where I tell it to stop, not where you tell it to stop. That's number one. And number two, I at least give you a chance to eat what you want to eat. But guess what? It's a group thing. It's a group thing. It is a group thing. So you're going to eat what I tell you to eat. So folks, when you're doing these large group things, I know, you know, to the soccer moms, I know I know y'all are too kind. Soccer moms, y'all are a whole nother breed of people. You're too kind. So for that, you want to do a group meal. My advice to you on group meals, if you're doing a team thing, is do that ahead of time. Know what that budget's going to be. That way you can tell their parents what to send with them if you don't provide that service for paying for the food. But make it pizza. Make it pizza. You know why? Pizza places, Hey, you can run in, run out. You can sit down. You can be loud. I don't mind McDonald's and all the others. Chick-fil-A, I get it. It's good. It's wonderful. But for groups, it could be a little pricey. No disrespect. If you got it, go. If you got it, go. Anyway, so if you're going out today on your group thing and you're taking kids, please plan ahead of time. Please plan ahead of time. Ahead of time. Okay? Ahead of time. If you cannot do that, do not go. Because if you don't plan for what's going to happen, you're going to be SOL. I'll let you figure out what those letters mean. Out of luck. Can't say the other one on the air. Okay? So, from that perspective, I really, 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 really need you to plan your day today. I really just need you to plan your day today. And when you plan your day, guess what? You win. You win on budget, and you win on peace of mind, and you also win on some other things, okay? So, and do not take a bunch of friends to shop. Okay, ladies, you're looking at me strange right now. I'm not saying don't go shop together. I'm not saying don't hang out. I love it. I love girl day. I love girls night out. I love all of that. So that's all I'm telling you. Just be mindful of your budget. I'm Shelia Smoot with your Consumer Crime Tip of the Week. We want you to avoid danger. Here are 5 ways to do that. Number 1, trust yourself. Many times your eyes, ears, nose, your skin, and tongue will give clues indicating that something threatening is ahead. Number 2, be aware of your surroundings. No matter how safe you think a neighborhood might be, it's still not a good idea to leave the front door open, your valuables in the car, your purse on top of your office desk, or to flaunt all of that expensive jewelry and other belongings you like to wear. Pay attention to the people around you. This advice is part of both listening to your instincts and being aware of your surroundings. You can often sense people's intentions just by the way that they look at you. Also, act confident and focused. Just as you can sense people's feelings, others can sense yours as well. Predators look for people who are meek, mild, weak, unfocused, and distracted. Criminals are looking for easy pickings. Understand, number 5, that alcohol or drugs can cloud your judgment. Certain substances can certainly dull your senses and slow down your reaction time to danger. I'm Shelia Smoot with this Consumer Crime Tip of the Week. And welcome back to the Shelia Smoot show. The Shelia Smoot. What's wrong with me? I've been smooted. I smooted myself. Welcome into the Shelia Smoot Show. I'm Shelia Smoot. Good to have you along with me. And we are now going to check in with the DA Sports Guru. Good morning, Sports Guru. Philip Turner, how you doing?
Good morning, Sheila. How are you today?
I'm fabulous. I can't complain. Even if I had a complaint, I wouldn't. I'm just not a complainer.
I hear you.
I'm not a complainer.
Yes, you're not a complainer. No, you're not.
I don't believe in it. It's too much energy for me to complain. I want a resolution. So apparently there's been a resolution in golf. And the guru is going to break down the economic impact of the PGA Tour merging with LIV Golf, a Saudi-funded upstart whose emergence over the past year and a half have been amazing. And now the two forces, the Americans and the Saudis, have merged on a golf deal that is massive. It's all about the Benjamins, all about the money. Guru, break it down for me economically. Why sports and what is that? What has golf got to do with it?
Well, golf is a very popular sport. And as people might know that's listening, about a year and a half ago, there was a group backed by the Saudis called LIV Golf. And LIV is not a short name for Olivia. It actually means the number 54. Because, you look at Law and Order, giving them a plug, Olivia Benson, that's what made me think about it.
Right.
And NBC is going to be showing some of that next year. But anyway, the LIV stands for 54 hole. In a normal golf tournament, for men, it's 72 hole. But LIV is 54 holes, and therefore the people make more money doing less work. I guess you can't complain anybody for doing that. Okay, so
That's what
that's
we
a good
man
thing.
rocket like that. We like that model. We live off that.
Well, what has happened though? The more popular golfers in the tournament, the ones that have the swag in the PGA, have gone to LIV. People like Dustin Johnson, and he made $35 million last year on the tour. That on the LIV by itself, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot. He didn't make that at the PGA. He would not. He did not make that.
He would not make that at the PGA because the PGA, if you don't get to the second round, if you don't make the cut, your money's cut. You get zero.
Yeah,
no money,
you're
no
out.
De Niro, no Benjamins. And this whole thing is about money.
Yeah, just a
So
good
one
day at the
thing that
golf
was
course.
hurting one thing that was hurting LIV Golf is they didn't have a TV contract. They just got a TV contract of all stations with the CW. I don't think anybody really looked at the CW anymore. So that's really a low end station.
They got a deal.
They got a deal, so they had to do something.
Stole it.
Now you might wonder, what about the timing of this? This is not just by happenstance. The Secretary of State, Billiken, was over there in Saudi Arabia earlier this week and last week trying to negotiate, the oil prices and the oil production. Saudi Arabia stated that they were not going to release as much oil as they had in the past. This was kind of strange. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Of course, this hurts us. So anyway, Monday morning, we're looking at ESPN, thinking we're going to talk about the NBA Finals.
Right.
And it's breaking news. PGA Tour as well as the LIV Tour have combined. Now, what makes this so peculiar? A lot of the PGA players said this was un-American because the Saudis basically have
they control the oil.
Tours. Basically, they have to control the oil, and they also have human rights hardships.
Yeah.
So because of that, a lot of the Americans did not want to deal with that. However, the PGA chairman had to come up there and save face and say, well, it's about the money because they keep losing people like Brooks Koepka, Bryson DeChambeau. If you're a golf person, you kind of know this. They also offered Tiger Woods, I think, like $500 million to join the tour. But, of course, he doesn't need that.
Right. He's good. He's set. But, hey, what's another extra $500 million in your wallet? Because, his wallet is bulging. We talked about wallets on another show. But go ahead.
So it's merging golf to new heights. So LIV Golf is backed by the SAPI, and that's the Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund. And that's controlled by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And you might wonder why I mentioned that. Well, that's important.
It's government funded.
Yes.
It's government funded. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, but they also own a lot of companies here in America or have a huge investment or a huge stake. Companies such as Nintendo, Zoom, Amazon, Starbucks, PayPal. This same fund that people did not know
they're funding.
They're funding them.
Yeah,
and they also fund a little bit of Disney. I looked at that. They have like 5 million shares, not 5 million, 500 million shares of Disney.
So it's like an NIL collective. I couldn't help myself.
It could be termed as that.
I couldn't help myself. It is a collective because that's what Nick Saban probably was going up to D.C. It's a collective, and we're all in it. I mean, I buy 3 or 4 of those brands daily. Some of them.
We all use them. Zoom came into the form, especially when we had the COVID and stuff. So that was really important. So now Zoom is made multi-million dollars as well. But the main 2 high-profile players for the LIV tournament is Phil Mickelson, who's won several things.
I remember Phil. He was a young golfer.
And also Bubba Watson, because was Phil and Tiger for the longest.
And Bubba Watson, Bubba's from here, isn't he? Doesn't he have ties to Alabama or no? Yeah. Yeah. That's what Rocket said. Disclaimer. Go ahead, Guru.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm back with you. And I just got another call. I guess it was a call about the camp. But anyway, those two golfers are very popular. And what the PGA Tour tried to do was try to sue LIV Golf for anti-competitive practices because they wouldn't let their players play in the tournaments. So the PGA players would not let players like Brooks Koepka play in things like the Masters, the French Open, and stuff. And they were unable to let them play. So that's where the lawsuits came from. However, now all 3 tours are going to be together now. And you got the DP Tour, you got the LIV Tour, as well as the PGA Tour. So they're all together, they're all making money, and they're all doing well.
That's the name of the game. It's the money. But let me tell you this.
Money.
It's all about the money. It's a money grab. I always tell folks it's a money grab. But get this. LIV Golf, which is 54 in Roman numeral terms, began in late 2021. Get this. With the former PGA Tour player Greg Norman. So the American cut this deal as its commissioner. Greg Norman, it started with them as its commissioner, and billions of dollars in backing from the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund, which you talked about, which is known as, what you talked about, the Public Investment Fund. And LIV lured several, as you said, several tour players, including the major champion, who you said, Phil Mickelson and Brooks Koepka. You said that with massive dollars and guaranteed payouts that far surpass guaranteed payouts that far surpass anything they could ever earn on the other PGA circuit. So Greg Norman is the boss. Greg Norman is golf, but he's the boss that cut this deal and got his buddies in. And LIV promised to that they would, pay the money. So now PGA couldn't compete. You're saying PGA couldn't compete, and financially, economically, they just didn't have they couldn't even put up enough money to compete with this kind of money.
I guess it goes with the old saying: if you can't beat them, join them, because that's what's happened with them.
That is exactly what happened.
This happened too this week. This was off the radar. The UFC and the WWE have merged together as well.
Explain. We've got a group of people want to know what those letters mean. Go ahead. UFC and WWE
UFC is a United Fighting Club by Dana White, where you actually see men actually fight with the knuckles.
I hate that.
Not to the death,
it's very barbaric.
I'm not a big fan of that.
I'm not.
And WWE is the old world Wrestling Federation. You had Hulk Hogan, but now
it's wrestling. It's wrestling, not wrestling.
Yes,
wrestling.
Wrestling in Alabama.
Now wrestling was wrestling. My dad used to get up and watch wrestling it was fun. But I don't like the other.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. I don't like the barbaric
money
piece.
grab too.
So
money
those
grab
two
for the TV rights, and that's going to happen. Right. Let me go back to LIV right quick. A lot of Americans were not happy with that because, and this is just how they felt. The Saudis have had so many human rights violations, and many Americans felt with September 11, September 11, 2001, a lot of those people involved with that were for Saudi Arabia,
But it wasn't the Saudis' fault. It was some guys that got together, or was it?
But families felt like there's a group called 9/11 Families United. They were shocked and deeply offended by this merger.
Yeah.
People always want to complain about something, and they were really upset. So this I don't think it's going to have any effect on it because you said it's about the money and money prevails. But they might have some protesting, at some of these tournaments. But they don't care because they're getting the money.
Right. So guess what else? On LIV has brought down the eliteness of the game. Get this. LIV rhymes with give, but it's, again, you said it's actually the Roman numeral 54. You were right. The number of holes played in each tournament. You were right. LIV had music blaring at its events. They have looser dress codes and team competitions and tournaments that lasted 3 days instead of 4 days. Further, and a particular appeal to the new type of golfer, the like you said, one with much swag on the course. And while the PGA Tour tournaments cut golfers with the worst scores after 2 rounds, you did that. LIV did not cut anybody. They're like, everybody come. Let's have a big party on the golf course. So kind of like the shift like tennis made when Serena and Venus came on the scene with and then let's not forget John McEnroe. All of that shifting is going. So the shift into golf, Tiger Woods. But guess what? We're talking about the economic of it. We got so many golf courses in Alabama. We have the Trent Jones, which is world renowned. We have Ross Bridge, which is the 4th largest golf course in the world. It sits in
Right.
Hoover,
Yeah.
Alabama. That is a real thing. I talked to Bobby Vaughn not too long ago when the PGA Works came to town. I took Bobby Vaughn out to Shoal Creek where my brother had courted that tournament to get here, and he was just in awe. He created the Trent Jones courses, so I would really want to get his prospect on what all this mean. But it is all about the money, and I know that because when NASCAR started getting into wanting more minorities, more women, I covered that story. So NASCAR April and October race, they started going there, and guess what else you said that was relevant to this conversation? It is about the money, but the TV contracts. So for those people who can't come down to Talladega, who can't come down to the regions, who can't go to a LIV, now merged PGA golf tournament, if you are in Saudi Arabia and you can't get to the tournament, or you're in Australia, you get the TV rights, the advertising rights, the viewing rights. That's where all the rest of the money is, because they can charge for that. And it is all about it. And I want to give you one more caveat you don't know before we wrap this segment up. One more thing.
Okay.
Remember when Donald Watkins, that attorney, Donald Watkins, purchased, at that time it was the Devil Rays. It's now the Rays. He was trying to buy them, and they were the sorriest team in baseball. Like, they were horrible. Basement baseball, right? I did that story. And my question to Mr. Watkins was, why would you buy or try to be involved and being an owner in a team that is horrible, making no money? You know what he told me? I'm not interested in the team, Miss Smoot. I am interested in the 300 or so media markets that will make me money. Ding, 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 ding.
Right.
I didn't even think, blew my mind, Philip. And so really, the CW is going to be empowered now because, like you said, but I bet you look up in 2 years, 3, and they become a major network, just same way as Fox and those people started as well. Like Rupert Murdoch said, it's about controlling the message. And if you control message, Rupert says, you control the mind. So I guess the Saudi said, if you control golf, you can control more oil. And then, like you said, the PGA said, if you can't beat them, join them. Avoiding identity theft. Identity theft can make it hard for you to get a job, credit, a place to live, or utilities, but you can reduce your risk of being hurt by identity theft. Now, how can I protect my identity? First, protect your personal information. That helps you protect your identity. Here are some things that you can do that. At home, keep your financial records, Social Security, and Medicare cards in a safe place. Shred papers that have your personal or medical information. If you don't have a shredder, you can always tear them up into teeny pieces. Also, take mail out of your mailbox as soon as you can. How can I protect my identity? As you do business, only give your Social Security number if you must. Ask if you can use another kind of identification. Do not, and I repeat, do not give your personal information to someone who calls you or who emails you. How can you protect your identity on a computer? Use passwords that are not easy to guess. Use numbers and symbols when you can. Do not respond to emails or other messages that ask for your personal information, and do not put personal information on a computer in a public place like the library. Also, how will I know if someone actually steals my identity? Read your bills and account statements. That's very, very, very important. Watch for things you did not buy, withdrawals you did not make, a change of your address that you did not expect, and bills that stop coming. Check those statements. They're very, very telling, and go to your bank if you need help or call them to help you out. But again, check your personal information. Avoiding identity theft altogether, look at your medical statements. You might see charges you don't recognize. That might mean someone stole your identity. Get your credit report. You get one free credit report every year from each credit reporting company to order. Go to Annual Credit Report at 1-877-322-8228. That's 1-877-322-8228. Annual Credit Report, not free credit report. Annual Credit Report. Answer questions from a recorded system. You have to give your address, social security number, and date of birth. You don't want to do that. Choose to only show the last 4 numbers of your social security, not your whole social security number. It is safer than showing the full number on your report. Choose which credit reporting company you want a report from. You get 1 report free from each company. That is TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. The company mails your report to you. They can also do another thing. They can email it, and you better make a copy because it goes away. Read your credit report carefully. Look for mistakes or accounts you do not recognize. This could mean someone stole your identity. You don't recognize any of that. Dispute, dispute, dispute. This is your consumer tip of the week. You got the last word. Right. You got 2 minutes. Go.
Right. Before we forget that, PGA Tour is a 501(c)(6) exempt organization, so that's important too. But as far as I'm concerned, I want to give a shout out.
A 501(c)(6).
Yes, 501(c)(6).
I don't even want to talk about that. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah. We appreciate Shelia Smoot for letting us talk about our program on your show extensively over the years. And can't beat that.
Thanks a lot for that. Hey, sports guru, Philip Turner, we'll talk to you next time, okay?
And have a great one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Again, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Shelia Smoot. Remember, don't be a sucker, be a consumer.